This is a time when you say expect the unexpected.
Jeff Gulagon delivered the final blow in that 7-0 victory, a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 6th that ended the game. The runs ahead rule in effect. And after a slow start to the round robin for Gulagon, who hit just .267, he went 2 for 3 in the playoff win over New Zealand and also had a hit in the triumph over Canada. So when Bob Harrow needs him the most, he seems to be heating up.
This is an important at-bat. First run, key of the game.
And the 0-1 to Gulagon from Shannon on the way and misses down low.
I mentioned earlier, Shannon usually gives every hitter at least one good pitch to hit.
Has looked sharp in the early going of this one. An infield single, the only damage so far. Shales at second in scoring position as Gulagon has a bug in his face and asked the umpire for time. One country trying to end an era, the other looking to start one of its own. Gulagon takes that offering, and Patrick Shannon with a snap throw trying to get Shales. And Nuku quick to apply the tag.
Peter, one of the interesting things that Bob Harrow told us was that facing pitchers that have a changeup or a reasonably good one, he likes his hitters up at the front of the box instead of the traditional back of the box where they seem to be. Take a look at Gulagon here. He's more toward the front. Is he looking for that changeup to drive?
Shannon with a low drop. Wanted that pitch, didn't get it. To even the count at 2-2. We're in the bottom of the second of this gold medal game of the 12th ISF Men's World Championship. New Zealand has won the last 3 titles in a row, dating back to a victory in Midland, Michigan in 1996. Gulagon pops this way up in the air. On comes Casely, and he'll take charge and make the play, calling off the second baseman Wilson for the second out.
That was a big out. That's a confidence booster for Shannon.
Designated player number 8,
And good communication as Casely calls Wilson off to make the play.
Defensively, New Zealand can't afford to make the kinds of mistakes that they made in their first meeting. 6 errors. Who would have ever thought you'd see a New Zealand national team in a World Championship event make those kinds of mistakes?
The designated player is Tyron Barterillo. Not a lot of playing time for Barterillo early in the tournament, but has contributed in 2 playoff games. Scored a run against New Zealand. Was the Australian National League's 2007 Rookie of the Year. He's from Brisbane. In his first ISF World Championship of any nature. And a good-looking .364 average with 3 RBIs in limited play, and Shannon fools him.
Again, another hitter at the front of the box. They want to get that change. That's Bob Harrow's philosophy with his hitters facing a change-up pitcher.
Nick Shales, the runner at second base, on board with the lone hit of the game, an infield single. And advanced on the sacrifice bunt by Josh Davison. Barterillo would like to cash him in. Shannon has other ideas. Patrick Shannon, here's an attempt to go to third. And Shales is going to score. And there's the aggressiveness of Bob Harrow's Australian team. The error on the throw allows Shales to come all the way home.
How many times do you see that happen where a throw hits a player running to a base, trying to advance? The end result, Australia takes that important lead 1-0.
A delayed steal planned not only advances the runner to third, but scores him too. And Australia on the board first. How many times, Terry Bader, have we seen this team make absolutely the most of its chances, and if not, put as much pressure defensively as they can on everyone they play?
One of the keys to this game was that Australia needed to take advantage of their scoring opportunities and cash in those runners when they're there. They can't take themselves out of potentially big innings with mistakes. They executed that time. They got a lucky break, and let's not underestimate the importance of that lucky break. If that ball doesn't hit him in the back, we may have a put out at third base. But credit to Harrow. Expect the unexpected.
The count remains 2-2 to Barterillo. And another conference. They are contesting the 2-2 count. As the umpires all gather, Nick Shales with a leadoff single has scored the game's first run. For Shales, his 12th run, and leads Australia in the tournament in that category.
Peter, that run is so important for Australia, just to settle them down. Again, this is the biggest game of their lives. They're a young team, and that's going to be nothing but a confidence booster for them for the rest of this game.
Count remains at 2-2. Shannon working, and Barterillo goes down swinging, but not before. Australia scores first. Nick Shales, plenty of reason to high-five his mates in a 1-0 lead. 1-0 Australia is. We're set to begin the top of the third. New Zealand, a side that scored 81 runs against 5 in 7 round-robin wins, shut out in its first playoff attempt against Australia and looking for its first hit in inning number 3.
Do you think 1 run's going to be enough in this one?
As New Zealand showed Canada, who led that game 4-2, against this lineup, I'm not sure any lead is safe. But this young man has other ideas and has been awfully difficult to hit, along with Andrew Kirkpatrick, who's playing this game in left field. As Folkard's high rise takes the count to the batter, Daniel Milne, to 2-1. And Milne, the left fielder, has been a great story in the playoffs for New Zealand. 4 runs batted in, an RBI against Canada, a big 3-run home run against the United States in a 7-3 triumph that guaranteed New Zealand to win at least a medal. And he's also made a couple of fine defensive plays, as the veteran catcher Harrow looks like he has a mask issue, and here's why. Ouch.
Probably looking for a new mask.
Harrow, the 37-year-old, participating in his 5th ISF Men's World Championship. The true veteran of the team. And a look at one of New Zealand's supporters, and there are many here who have made the long journey over to Saskatoon. New Zealand, a terrific softball country, and not hard to support a team that's been in 7 consecutive gold medal games at this event and is trying to win for a 4th consecutive time. As the mask is fixed and catcher Harrow is back to work, and Milne on one hop to the pitcher Folkert for out number 1 of this top of the 3rd inning.
Peter, at some point in time, Folkert's going to be getting in the New Zealand hitter heads. This is now, if you take the runs ahead shortened game that they played in the playoff game, we're now into the 9th inning with New Zealand not scoring a run against them.
Back to the top of the order, and center fielder Thomas Makia. Makia enjoying another fine world championship.
Took something off on that one.
And Makia, always a big contributor, scored 15 runs and has driven in 15. And Folkert connects. First strike 1.
Painted the corner. How would you like his future in this game?
I'd like it a lot. He's going to be around, and so is this Australian team. Makia pops up, Shales back on the grass. Davison calls him off for out number 2. In a sport where generally you reach your prime, don't you, Terry, between 30 and 35, to think about Folkert and Kirkpatrick at 22 and 25 respectively, and all their other young talented hitters, lots of reason to be pretty excited if you're a men's fast-pitch softball fan in Australia. Hard hit by Nukunuku and just foul down the right field line.
I think around the age of 28, you know, you start your prime. But the interesting thing is with the pitchers today, if they keep themselves in shape, as we've seen in this tournament, we've just seen with Marty Grant, they can pitch well into their late 30s and even early 40s. But I like the bigness of the Australian pitchers, 6'5", 6'6". They're not going to tire easily, whatever the weather conditions are or how many pitches they throw.
Both Folkert and Kirkpatrick imposing figures. In tight on Nukunuku, who takes for ball 2. Nukunuku looking for a 3rd consecutive world title. Could be pretty special when he captured the last couple with his brother Dion. This popped up and playable for the shortstop Nathan Jones. And another 1-2-3 inning. Australia sits down New Zealand again with no damage. Left fielder Andrew Kirkpatrick to lead things off for Australia. They scored an unearned run in the bottom half of the 2nd inning on a delayed steal by Nick Shales. He was on his way to 3rd. The errant throw off his back, and he scampered home.
Peter, a bit of a surprise seeing Kirkpatrick in the lineup. I know he's a great hitter, and they want to utilize it, but he is the 2nd and key performer for this team as a pitcher. If anything ever happens to him out there, they need to use him later on. It's pretty tough to warm up and still continue to play in the outfield. The other factor is what happens if he trips out there and hurts himself.
Kirkpatrick was phenomenal in the victory over Canada. A 2-hit, 14 strikeout victory. His ERA is 0. And that's the kind of 1-2 punch that Australia features. And this guy's a pretty good hitter.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me if Bob Harrow was thinking that he's here today because of the performance of this young man as well, and he wanted to give him the opportunity to play in a championship game.
Kirkpatrick hits this one right at left.